Hello everybody, what is up? We have a lot going on today. Unfortunately, I have to make this video a little bit shorter because I have things I have to do. So sorry about that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, if you'll notice, just about everything is down today. The only exception, especially for us, seems to be SFM. Now, if you'll remember, we have the covered call for this Friday on SFM at 27.5. Unfortunately, this did not drop at all, so it's probably going to get called away, which is okay because I'm running the wheel on that, so it's whatever, and I've made money on it. But I would like it to get a little bit closer to my strike. So then when I run puts on it, after I do get called away, I can get it even cheaper. But not the worst thing in the world. We made money. It's just kind of weird that that's the one stock we really, really, really want to go down. And it's not. It's the only one. So that being said, VXX is up a lot. Now, this is what I was saying about VXX. This is not a company. It's a leveraged instrument, a leveraged derivative of the volatility in the S&P 500. So, one thing to note is that volatility measured doesn't matter which direction the market is moving. Now, because everybody is selling everything, that means volatility is going up, which means this price goes up. Now, it's kind of cool because you can kind of time it. So if everybody does a mass sell-off, this is going to spike huge. And if you time it right, you can make a lot of money. However, we're not really in the market of timing stuff. So it just kind of is fortunate because I just sold another covered call on that and ended up making, I think it was like $107, $105. So if we go over to this sheet here, you can see I made $105, and that actually got because it spiked, it got our cost basis down to $21.75. But it means we could sell, because it spiked so much, we could sell the 22 strike covered call. And then with that premium received, it dropped us below 22. So anything at this point, as long as it stays where it's at, is free money. That being said, it's probably going to go down. That's all right. I mean, as long as we just keep whittling away at our cost basis. I do need to get out from under this, but hey, as long as I'm making money some way, shape, or form, I'm okay with it. I do need the capital placed elsewhere so I can really start building this stuff out. But whatever, it worked out. It's kind of cool. Another cool thing is last week. So I had bought the 14 January covered call, right? Sold it. I'm sorry, not bought, sold. Well, I sold it. I made $123 because I have 3 contracts. Well, on Thursday, I looked and I could buy those contracts back for 2 cents a share. So I ended up spending $6 to buy them back. And then turned around, sold another covered call at a lower strike price because VXX had dropped so much. So I ended up making another 42. So I made 123, 42, and lost 6 that week. So what is that? Like $159? $159. Now if I had just kept this original covered call, I would have made $123, but by buying the contracts back and then selling another covered call, I ended up making quite a bit more money. Now, the only thing is if this had spiked like it did today, if this had happened Friday, then I would have lost, $300 because the strikes were different. But that was a chance I was willing to take, and it worked out mainly because I need to get these out from under me. And if that was at a little bit of a loss, so be it. I really need to deploy the capital. However, with this spiking up like it did, it put us in a prime opportunity to go ahead and sell another covered call. Now we have a strike over our cost basis, so we'll make money. Okay, moving on because I need to hit a few more things. Riot has dropped a lot today, but that's all right. We kind of expected that. That's going to be a really volatile stock. It's heavily influenced by Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing terrible right now. It's a mining company, Bitcoin mining company. If you want to know more about that, look into it. I'm not an expert or anything. I just kind of want exposure to it. I do invest in crypto a little bit, but I just kind of set it and forget it. Now, I was going to sell a covered call on this because I really want to start generating more income. However, if we look at the charts, this is really oversold right now. And now if you notice, every time this dips down, eventually it comes back up. This is what we're looking to, if we ever want to sell it at before it drops back down. Not a whole lot of volume on it. Yeah, I guess it's holding steady, but the main thing is it's hitting this 200-day average, right? So hopefully this is what most people who bought the stock own it for, is around this price. Okay, so that means there's going to be a pretty big support level right here. So hopefully now that it's hitting this, it doesn't just blow through. Hopefully it stabilizes here and then starts going back up. It may not. With Bitcoin being where it's at, there's really no telling. Don't trust my chart reading skills because I am still learning everything and I could be completely wrong. So I'm not going to sell covered calls on it because I'm hoping for a bounce back at this support level, but that's not necessarily a support level. I use that term lightly. That's just where a lot of people own shares. So hopefully they don't want to sell them for break even. Anyway, moving on. What is next? PCYO. Something interesting happened in PCYO. It is dropping a lot, and I don't necessarily know why. One thing I did notice, because it's weird that it's dropping so much, because they just did an earnings announcement and they surpassed their estimate, but I think their estimates are internal, so those are kind of wonky. So they did get a new director. I don't necessarily think that is what is making it drop more. I think what is making it drop is that the old one left. So who was it? Mr. Arthur Epker. So he was with them for a very long time, like 15 years, and he stepped down, so that may have something to do with it. I was looking through, I went through their quarterly report, and there was nothing in there that would indicate that they're looking at future problems or anything. They are having some like permit problems, but it's not really anything too crazy. The other thing maybe is that they voted on a new compensation plan, and maybe that was crazy, but I can't find any numbers for that. I mean, maybe they were like, hey, we're going to pay ourselves $1 billion this year, when last year it was $1 million or something. I don't know. I can't find anything about it, so I can't imagine that other people could. Now, the problem is I don't think that there's a whole lot of retail investors in this company. So it's going to be very dependent on what the funds value it at. Now, that being said, let's see how much is owned. Yeah, so Vanguard owns a lot of it. Yeah, 64.38 held by institutions. 139 different institutions, and this is, the main holders. Vanguard owns a lot. Pleasance Capital, they own a lot. So, yeah, maybe they know something I don't know. It's quite possible because it's pretty sure that's all they do is sit there and look at stuff like this. However, I could not find anything about it. So I'm not sure why that's dropping so much, but I'm going to use it as an opportunity to buy as soon as I get more capital. Really, I think that about covers it. I'm going to be buying a Leaps this week, probably today. If we look here, this is another cool little thing. This has dropped pretty substantially. So when I made the video last week about buying the Leaps call on Intel, it was 1680. So it's dropped 50 cents, which saves me $50 if I go ahead and buy it. I'm gonna wait and see until it gets closer to close today. I'm thinking these will go down since there's such a high spread and the stock is going down. It's probably gonna go down, and it's probably gonna get close to around 1600. If it gets to 1580, I'm definitely buying it. So that'll probably happen today. I may wait until tomorrow, but I imagine it will be happening today. All of this dropping and everything was primarily due to the raising of the interest rates by the feds that they've been talking about for the past few weeks. Not really anything to be worried about. It was kind of to be expected. You could have prepared for it a little bit better. I probably could have, but it's not really my investing style. So I just kind of let it ride for the most part. The interesting thing is that oil is going up. So this I talked about a little bit last week, I believe. I really want to get exposure to oil because oil is, I believe, the only thing over the past 10 or 20 years negatively correlated to the S&P 500. And we can see it. So oil prices are rising. Oil prices are rising. Yeah, see? So like ZOM, that's Exxon, I believe. Yeah, they're rising. So when the S&P 500 goes down, oil prices go up, right? So I was talking about how I wanted to have a position in some type of oil, some type of exposure in order to hedge against things like this. So when the S&P 500 goes down, oil goes up, which kind of cool, something to keep in mind when you start building out your own portfolio. And I think that about does it. Good luck to everybody. Hope everything's working out, and talk to you later.